not all rackets are created equal. And I'm not just talking brands. Ever wonder why you're still shanking balls or missing that sweet feel you once knew? Well, the culprit might be the racket's head shape. Today, we're diving into 50 years of innovation, unpacking head shape, brand DNA, and exactly who each design is meant for. So stick around, because in the next few minutes, we'll finally unlock which racket type can fully unleash your full potential on the court. As players, we can obsess over string tensions and swing patterns. But did you know the geometry of your racket can be just as game-changing? Let's break down the 3 main head shapes, their history, and why each design matters for you. When I first started playing tennis, I bought rackets because I thought they looked cool. From then, I learned how to actually choose the right racket for me. So, of course, I tested out all 8 different racket brands, from Yonex to Wilson, Head, all of them in my first year of tennis to give you guys a great gauge. So, of all these rackets, you're going to find out today what matters, what doesn't, and which one is perfect for you. All right, let's head over to the Racquet Wall and take a closer look at how each of these shapes have evolved over time. So, let's start with the OG, the oval head. Oval heads have a rich history. They were the standard for decades and still power the game to this day. They offer a responsive hit, but demand rock-solid timing and technique. Now, the 1970s were the golden era of wooden rackets. Narrow beams, small oval head, and pure craftsmanship. Precision ruled, but power was limited. Think Bjorn Borg and the wooden Slagingers. Did you know, before graphite, almost every tennis racket was purely wooden and oval shaped? Setting the stage for today's high precision designs, the 80s brought in the graphite boom. Lighter, stiffer, and more forgiving. Rackets like the Wilson Pro Staff redefined control and ushered in the modern oval head evolution. Take this modern Wilson Pro Staff, an icon that traces its roots back to the era of traditional oval-shaped wooden rackets. Its elongated oval head offers a concentrated sweet spot that rewards precision. There was also another racket brand that stuck with the traditional oval-shaped racket face. The French Babolat, pure drive, clean, classic, and built for explosive power. It was Andy Roddick's weapon of choice.
Right here.
You can feel that DNA in every flat, aggressive strike. Stealing this from Tincom after everybody goes through a personal Babolat dad drive phase and letting my shoulder heal. I wanted to try something a little more forgiving. But even today, if you're still a bit off, you're gonna feel it, which is good. But I like a little something more forgiving, which leads us to our next category. You might benefit from a more square or isometric design. Let's check out my current personal favorite racket, my Yonex V-Core. With an isometric head, it's engineered to enlarge the sweet spot, giving you extra margin for error and a softer air for those mismatched swings. In the 1990s, brands like Yonex and even Head messed with an isometric design. More sweet spot, more power. I mean, makes sense, right? Advancements in composite materials allow designers to experiment with isometric shapes, vastly improving playability and spin potential. Playing from the baseline is now mainstream. Look at today's game. In fact, it's crucial. The new generations of rackets are coming out with thicker beams and lighter frames. The game's getting faster, and so should your gear. But racket geometry didn't stop evolving there. Let's move into the modern era, with frames that prioritize spin, comfort, and surgical precision, each with a distinct head shape and string pattern. Take the Babolat Pure Aero.
This thing's sick. Pretty good.
Even this one leans towards a more isometric style head and features an open 1619 pattern, similar to what we saw of my V-Core's 16x20 pattern. The isometric head plus the string pattern combo gives you more bite on the ball and extra dwell time for generating heavy topspin. Perfect as well for baseline grinders, Nadal and Carlos types. Even take a look at my older Head Instinct MP. Always check your string pattern, as this one's a 16x19 with the isometric head shape. Great for spin. Now, contrast that one with the Head Radical, a racket built for control. It usually features a denser 18x20 pattern, which tightens up response and reduces launch angle. Great for advanced players who want to feel every inch of the ball and are okay with working harder for that extra depth. And of course, for the players needing a more forgiving setup than the rackets I mentioned, the Tecnifibre T-Fight or the Yonex Ezone, both are amazing base rackets. From another intermediate, they equally deliver enough comfort and consistency for everything I needed. Their isometric designs enlarge the sweet spot, while a 1619 or 1618 string pattern allow room for both spin and feel, ideal for intermediates looking to level up their gameplay. We've covered the powerful classics and the spinny innovators, but I know what you're thinking. What if your game is built purely on precision, on threading the needle every time? Then you're looking for a different breed of racket entirely. This is where the elongated and narrow-shaped rackets shine for you. And since we're in this category, let's talk a little bit more about the Head Radical, the legacy frame that demands respect. This isn't just a racket. From what I've seen, it's a scalpel on the court, a weapon for players who like to dissect the court looking for angles, not just play on it. This slim and narrow oval shape came around in the late 90s as well. Precision-focused designs hit their stride. Advanced players started pushing racket tech to its limits, and Head answered the call.
Confidence? For me, it's my racket, the Head Radical Tour racket.
Andre Agassi used it to flatten time itself, stepping inside the baseline and hitting groundies like a jackhammer. Now, his Radical was heavy, flexible, and brutally concise. Today, Taylor Fritz carries the torch, and after watching and dissecting his gameplay, he not only hammers the ball, no, he's doing it with the same shaped racket that evolved from Agassi. They recognize that the narrowness of the oval shape gives plenty of forgiveness and a bit more pop, but is still true to its roots today. Controlled aggression, modernized. Oh, Andy Murray used it too. But strictly Head users aren't alone. Brands like Dunlop and Prince carved out lanes of their own for those obsessed with feel and placement. Dunlop's CX series, for example, the slim, boxy beams equal to laser-pointed control. These are perfect for players who love to craft their own points, who want to feel every millimeter of contact. Prince, on the other hand, brings vintage finesse with their iconic ports and buttery flex. Rackets like the Prince Phantom series give off a smooth, old-school vibe, perfect for those slice masters and all-court tacticians. Thin beam, low flex, smaller head sizes. These are frames built for feel and control, not for bashing the ball, but for shaping it. And if the Radical spoke to you, just know there are lots of other siblings. Wilson's Clash has that same elongated head shape and feel-first focus. You can think of it like a Radical that's done yoga for a while. And the Head Speed Pro, which tightens it up a lot with more speed and faster design. And the Modern Edge, perfect for players who want to rip with control, but want something light enough to cover ground fast. Or the Tecnifibre TF40, with a connected traditional feel to it that makes every shot feel intentional. And now let's zoom out, because we all know it's not strictly about frame geometry. It's also about the vibe. Because every racket brand has their own personality and creates a distinct feel that connects to a player's true identity. Once you find the right brand that speaks your language, the quest for the perfect racket gets so much easier. So here's how the personalities break down. Wilson, gotta love it. With Wilson, it's all about elite control and clean aesthetics. Think Federer, think Wilson Blade, and think pro staffs. Wilson's probably the tuxedo of tennis rackets. It's classic, it's elegant, and kind of makes you stand straighter. If you're the type to say, well, I read The Inner Game of Tennis for fun. Yeah, Wilson's definitely your match. Next is Babolat, the spin machines. Babolat is for baseliners who hit like they're mad at the ball. Pure Aero, pure drive, pure bombs. Biggest users of the Aero being Nadal and Rafa, and they don't rally, they unleash. If you've ever tried the banana forehand, vamos, or yelled out, vamos, yeah, this is your spirit brand. If you don't use Yonex, you're dumb. And then there's me. Yonex, baby. Yonex is the tech nerd, but it's cool. I say Yonex is for the techie ones because you have to understand the isometric shape. If you understand the isometric shape, you get it. The WTA top 8, 4 of them use Yonex. And not to be that guy, but we got Madison Keys, Casper Ruud, Ben Shelton, Tommy Paul, Nick Kyrgios, Francis Tiafoe, Sebastian Baez, Echeverry, Habilo, Shapovalov, Machak, Nakashima, Marcus Giron, the boy, Abakina, Paolini, Navarro. I could keep going, but that alone should say something about the quality. If you like precision, feel, a strong serve, and just a little bit more on a drop shot, talking about it, it's almost a pure Aero. It's not quite up there. You might also be a Yonex kid. Head users, probably the best types of control freaks. Head rackets are sculpted for the purists. Radical, prestige, instinct, speed. Every model, laser beams, groundies. These rackets are surgical on the court. They might be a little underpowered for some, but high IQ. You don't force winners with these, you build equations. While I sadly don't have one on me yet, a Tecnifibre is underrated genius. From the T-Fight or the TF40. With its clean all-white design and arm-friendly feel, hey, don't tell, I low-key think it's slept on in the intermediate game. These players use their racket like an elongated arm. This brand is for the players who say, I don't follow trends, I find feel. Now, Prince rackets are definitely for the artists. It's where old school meets finesse. Prince rackets have a buttery flex and iconic ports. Prince is definitely for the slicers, the droppers, and the tacticians. So if you've ever served and volleyed just because it felt right, then welcome to the Prince Club. Out of all of the rackets with flamboyant personalities we just went through, there's one sleeper assassin. Dunlop frames. Slim beams, almost a muted feel, not a lot of flash, just pure control. From CX to FX to SX, Dunlop offers rackets for control, spin, and power for players at essentially any level. I have it as a sleeper racket now, after watching players like Winners Only Tennis review and playtest of the new Dunlop SX, and watching ATP players play with it, like Jack Draper, who's been on a crazy run, or Alexei Poprin. I'd say Dunlop players are the type of guys who never talk trash, but always win 6-2, 6-2. If you know, you know. If you don't, you'll find out. Alright guys, that's a wrap on our deep dive into racket head shapes. Remember, there's no one perfect racket. There's just the one that's perfect for your game. If you found value in breaking down how these designs impact your game, I want you to ace that subscribe button and hit a like on this video to let me know. And I'd really love to hear what you think. Drop a comment below telling me which brand or head shape really fits your style. And remember, master your gear, master your game, and master your serves. Ace out. And if you've been thinking about switching to Team Yonex with me, go watch my video on why you should only choose a Yonex racket in 2025. Click it. It's right here. I know you're curious. I'm gonna try to get up with it. Oh.